Hey everybody, I'm Rebecca from Revenue. We're coming at you live today from Pipeline Philly. I'm joined by a ton of awesome folks from both the Department of Revenue and the Department of Commerce. Today we're going to be talking about the gig economy, solopreneurs, basically anybody who gets a 1099. So if you're one of those people, stay watching. We're going to talk about what taxes you need to be aware of, what programs exist that can be helpful to you. So I'm hopeful that you get a lot out of this. And what I'm hopeful is that if you have questions, you add them into the comments below. We've got folks behind the camera who are going to help moderate those and get those to the panel. And if we can, we'll work those into the conversation. And if we can't, we'll answer them after the fact. So just to start, to my left is Cisco from the Department of Commerce. Can you tell us more about what you do?
Sure. So I'm Director of Business Development, specifically focused on innovation and technology. So that means working with mostly tech companies and startups.
Cool. So maybe you can help set the stage for this conversation. Like, who are we talking to? Like, what is the gig economy?
Sure.
And what are we talking about?
Yeah, I think we're really talking about sole proprietors, and these are folks that haven't incorporated their company, so they didn't have a C corp or an LLC, and some common roles that take on that sort of format are independent consultants, sort of just starting out, and more recently, companies such as Instacart and TaskRabbit have started hiring these types of folks.
So it's a range. It's everyone from software consultants to and maybe graphic designer consultants, freelancers, to folks who are just picking up a side hustle with Instacart or TaskRabbit.
Absolutely.
And if you get a 1099, the city of Philadelphia considers you a business. And so with that, there's a few things that you have to do to start your business. So we're going to start with Lynda. Lynda's with the Department of Revenue. Can you tell us what you do for revenue?
Sure. I'm a county control supervisor with the Department of Revenue. So basically, I help with maintaining payments within the system.
Okay.
And I also help with taxpayer resolution.
Okay. So tell me, what's the first thing that people need to do? I know that they need to get a tax ID number.
Yes.
Open a tax account.
Yes, they definitely need to go online and open a tax account. They need a number. So they can go to phila.gov/revenue, and there's a get a tax account number link, the button, you just hit on the button, and it will take you to a link for our eGov site, which I highly recommend that you bookmark because you're going to need it down the line. You're going to be using it frequently. And then when you go in, you apply for the tax account.
So what kind of stuff do you need to open a tax account?
You will need your social security number. You will need your mailing address. Your email address is very important to make sure it's correct. Your phone number. You will also need to use the drop-down box and pick what type of business you are. And then you go to the second tab and it will automatically fill in the 2 taxes that you need.
Okay, all right, and we'll get more to taxes in a second. But so once a person has a tax account ID, I know they need a commercial activity license. NazAarah, before we get into that, can you tell me what you do with the Department of Commerce?
Yes, so I'm the Director of Field Operations for the Office of Business Services. And we have a team of 9 who are geographically assigned. And what we do is we help entrepreneurs navigate city bureaucracy and help them minimize red tape when starting or growing their business.
I like how you're like a field manager, like people just kind of special ops drop in and help you with your business. And that is true. They really do hop in. They meet you where you're at. They get they're out in the neighborhoods, out in the commercial corridors. So it's a great service. If you aren't familiar with the services of the Department of Commerce, get on it. Okay, but getting back to a commercial activity license, what is that and what happens?
So the commercial activity license, formerly the business privilege license, is the license that you need in order to do business here in the city of Philadelphia. It is a free license that is attached to your business income and receipts tax account number. So that is a prerequisite that you need in order to move forward. What you do is you can go to business.phila.gov, which is the Office of Business Services Business Service Portal, to apply, which will take you to License and Inspections Eclipse System.
Okay.
And there you enter the same information that you enter for your bird. And then at the end of that transaction, you have your commercial activity license.
Okay. So folks should go to phila.gov/business or business.phila.gov it'll all take you to the same place. And they should just search commercial
activity license,
search for
or
commercial.
you can search commercial activity license. You can go in by the type of industry that you're starting in. You could go from the revenues website, from the when you're opening your business income and receipts tax account number. There's several ways that you can get there. You can even Google commercial activity license.
Right, and all of these though, the big recommendation is do it online.
Do it online.
Yeah.
It's very easy. You can get it done in a matter of 3 minutes, as long as you've paid your taxes and you don't have any red flags. You'll get your commercial activity license issued. Or if you don't want to go online, you can always go down to L&I and someone is there to assist you.
Right.
Or come to one of us, a business services manager, we can walk you through it.
Okay. And so getting back to taxes, we always tell folks that they should work with a tax professional, especially somebody who has experience in Philadelphia. I mean, I think the advice is a little bit like you wouldn't go to court without a lawyer. You wouldn't want to run your business without having someone who understands your unique business situation. Like you are, you probably have things, special circumstances, and that person's going to help walk you through them. Okay, so we mentioned a couple of taxes already, but Lynda, can we talk about the business income and receipts tax? What is that? How does it work?
Okay, so the business income and receipts tax is one of the two that you will definitely need. It's also known as the BIRT, B-I-R-T for short. So the BIRT tax is a two-part tax. It's based on the gross receipts, which is all the money your business earns, and then it's based on the net income portion, which is the profit, what's left after all your expenses.
Okay, so it's two parts.
Two parts.
One is on all the business that you did in the year, like all the receipts.
Yes.
How much money did you bring into your business? And then that's the gross receipts part. And then the other part is net income.
Net income.
And that's basically your profit.
Correct.
And the rates are different.
Yes.
But they are online at phila.gov/revenue, and they do change from year to year. So it's important that you check what you check for the current year, and also if you happen to owe for back years. And let me introduce Bruno. I'm sorry.
No problem.
So Bruno, tell us what you do at the Department of Revenue.
Well, I'm part of the technical staff. I answer a lot of technical tax questions by tax professionals and even regular taxpayers who want to come in and just ask their questions. So
Okay.
I'm part of that unit.
Okay, and so like if folks reach out to us, those queries end up on your desk.
Yep. pretty
Okay.
much, Yep.
All right. So getting back to the BIRT, I understand that there's now a $100,000 exemption. Like what, Bruno, do you want to explain what that is or how that works?
Yeah, so it's exactly what it means. It's an exemption of the first $100,000 of your receipts that you earn, and then a proportionate amount taken against your net income portion of your taxes. So the example would be if you make $75,000, the $100,000 would cover your gross receipts, and the proportionate amount would go to your net income, thus not having any tax liability because it's under $100,000. If it's over $100,000, if it's, let's say, $200,000, then your first $100,000 would be excluded, and then proportionally half, so that would $200,000, half of it would be $100,000, so half of your net income would be excluded as well.
Okay, so just to recap.
Sorry, yeah.
No, it's okay. It's all good. Just to recap, basically, if you do less than $100,000 of business, you don't have a BIRT liability.
No.
And that's a big deal because when that was fully implemented, it meant that 60,000 businesses in Philadelphia no longer had a BIRT liability, down from 90,000. So now that's like 2/3, 66% of businesses don't have a BIRT liability in Philadelphia anymore. But it's important to note that's like, so if you're less than $100,000, you don't have a liability. If you earn more than $100,000, awesome, you're killing it. But also you have to do the math to figure out.
Correct, and that involves filling out the tax return and seeing where the liability stands.
But it's super easy to do it online.
Yeah, if you do it online and all your receipts are within Philadelphia, it's super easy. All you need your gross receipts and your net income, and the system will figure it out for you.
Okay, and then can you tell me when you have to file for BIRT?
So BIRT's filed every year, April 5th, or this year was actually April 18th. But usually it's when you file the normal taxes, the normal tax day.
Your federal
your
taxes.
Exactly, your federal taxes, correct.
Okay, and then tell me more about estimated payments. What does that mean?
Okay, so the estimated payment is basically putting a down payment on your next year's liability.
Okay.
So when you complete that form, what your tax liability is on your front summary page, you're gonna, line 4, I believe, will say duplicate this number, and that's gonna be your estimated payment.
For the following year.
For the following
So
year.
It's a down payment for the
It's a down
following year.
payment.
That's basically exactly the way that, the federal government requires
Correct.
estimated payments, the state requires estimated payments. But in Philadelphia, you should be aware that it's an annual estimated payment.
Correct.
It's not quarterly. However, there is some legislation that might change that. So it's important that folks understand any future changes to the law. But we'll be doing a ton of outreach if that changes. And we'll be doing more Facebook Live. We'll definitely be doing videos and things about it. So that's another really great reason to tune into our YouTube and our Facebook. Okay, so let's talk about the net profits tax. Bruno, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, so the net profits tax is basically a tax on the business income, much like a wage tax. So it's based off of residency, so residents, non-residents, and then there's 2 separate rates according to your residency. It'll be a tax on whatever the net income is, and then there is a 60% credit that's available if you paid any net income on the BERT. So it's almost like you're not paying twice. So you're paying on your BERT, and then if you pay anything there, you get that 60% credit on your net profits tax.
So basically, the net profits tax is like your wage tax. If you were in a corporation and you got a salary, your salary would be taxed. You would get the
Correct.
wage tax on your
Wage,
salary.
yeah.
But when you're a 1099, basically all of your profits are essentially your salary.
Correct.
So we tax that the same as the wage tax.
Correct.
And now that we have a $100,000 exemption, you probably don't have a BERT liability, but you will have to pay the net income tax, which is not the same as the net income
No, it's
portion of the BERT. And I'm sorry that they have the same names and it's kind of wacky, but people make that mistake all the time.
Yeah, they do, yeah.
Okay, all right. And any last tips?
I would say file online. There's a BERT Easy form, so if you don't have receipts outside of the city and you can do everything online, it's very easy with the BERT Easy. If you do have a lot of things to claim and whatnot, you can always go to a tax professional, or you can email revenue@phila.gov for questions, or call 215-686-6600 and they'll help you.
Okay, and well, you already told me who to reach out to if we have questions. So let's turn the conversation back to the business side, the business development side, the business growth side. Cisco, I know that you talk to entrepreneurs every day. What advice do you give them when they're just starting out?
Sure. So I think it's really important to identify some expertise early on. It'll help you avoid a lot of pitfalls. And I think you can call that a mentor and advisor, but at the same time, those people get a lot of those requests. So I think it's important to approach those conversations as if it's a two-way street, and certainly offer them something in terms of knowledge or your own sort of personal experience. But it's really important to start collecting that network of experts.
And so how would you even go about hopping in to the tech community or hopping into the co-working community?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's tons of events, free meetups. We're currently in the middle of Philly Tech Week. You can certainly come to the Department of Commerce and we'll help you make those connections. And I recommend sort of following, the Startup PHL Twitter account or Philly Startup Leaders. Technically, certainly keeps you plugged into what's going on in the community.
And for folks who don't know, technically it is an online.
It's
an online publication, and they're the curators of many events throughout the year. There's also things like the New Tech Meetup, which is great. And then basically any meetup you want for every night of the week, depending on the technology that you're interested in. There's the Ruby Meetup and the SQL Meetup, and I'm dating myself because I don't even know what the latest thing is.
What the latest thing,
right. And then certainly, we're in Pipeline Philly. Thank you for hosting us. It's a great space, but it's certainly not the only one. There's a ton throughout the city, all over the city. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I mean, we certainly have the big brands in the city, but we also have some homegrown co-working spaces like Indie Hall, formerly Benjamin's Desk, that is now 1776, and those are great places because their founders are from the area and certainly can have access to a lot of people you can meet.
Yeah, that's definitely, I found that to be true. And they've been very welcoming. I think those are communities with open arms. And it's not just tech, there's also like a lot of maker spaces,
right.
And some really, really great communities all around the city. NazAarah, I know that there are a lot of programs offered throughout the city. Can you tell us about some of them? Like, these are things to support a business. Is there something specific for this audience?
Yes. So for the purposes of this conversation, I can think about technical assistance providers. Actually, Commerce funds maybe about 9 or 10 of them annually, and it's a great way after you meet with your mentor, you identify a mentor, or if you can't tap into a mentor, these technical assistance providers can provide kind of the same assistance that a mentor would provide. So business plan assistance, free workshops, financial assistance, training, and so SCORE is a great organization to sit down with. They are counselors that sit down one-on-one and help you plan from A to Z as you're moving towards starting your business. Women's Business Development Center is also another one who provides some awesome workshops and training, and you don't have to just be a woman. You can be a man as well. And then Entrepreneur Works. And then they also help you move toward getting some financing if that's what's needed.
Okay, and those aren't the only ones. I mean, there are tons.
There are tons out there.
And that's definitely a good reason to reach out to OBS, to the Office of Business Services, to figure out who's
yes.
going to help, who's in your area.
That is correct.
Who maybe specializes in your industry.
Yes, so there are tons of them, and you don't have to try and memorize what I just said. You can call us at 215-683-2100. Or there's a list also on our business services portal, business.phila.gov, where it lists all of our technical assistance providers.
And I know if folks are just starting out, like this might be a little bit of a silly question, but I think it comes up all the time. Like, are there grants to start a small business?
So there are some grants out there, but most of them are for existing businesses. Those businesses that have been operating for at least 2 years. Mm-hmm. But there are some financing opportunities with no interest or low interest. And to name a few, Commerce has a program called the Capital Consortium, which is a group of nonprofit and for-profit lenders that provide access to capital. And they're a partner with the, it comes out of the City of Philadelphia's Commerce Department, but they're partners with us. I just got all of that just mixed up.
Okay.
But there are 37 lenders who are partners with the Department of Commerce. And as I said, zero interest and some low interest loans. And one specifically is the Kiva Philadelphia loan program, which is crowdfunded. It's zero interest. You can borrow up to $10,000. You get a lot of free marketing, and it's not based on your credit, it's based on your character.
Yeah, Kiva is really, really helpful because it can help folks who are just starting out, and it really forces you to like put it out there, like who you are, what you're doing, and creating a community around your business.
That is, and you connect with so many new customers or potential customers from all around the world. And so not just the financing piece, but that marketing piece is a big thing.
Any last advice from Commerce for folks who are maybe just starting out or thinking about this, or?
So I would say when it's an idea in your head and you just don't know where to begin, because starting a business can be very tedious. Our business services managers, again, it's about 9 of us, can help you, sit down with you, come out to you, and help you figure out what you need to do, from technical assistance to licensing, permitting, what revenue, what accounts you need to set up for. We'll even help you fill out the applications. And so if you need us, we're here, 215-683-2100. Or we also have a business email, which is business@phila.gov, as well as our business services portal, business.phila.gov.
And if you haven't been on that website, that is a really, really great resource for all the financing, all the programs, all the things that can help you grow your business, as well as the requirements on the city side. So like you said, permitting, licensing, revenue, so it's pretty comprehensive. And like a lot of the sites at the city is kind of going through some changes to be updated, to be more user-friendly. The Department of Revenue's website recently went through that. I think folks at home, you may notice that just in your interactions with the city, you'll find that like the websites are currently, they're kind of turning over. We're all kind of getting into one line. We're trying to be more, use more simple language, like to be more accessible on various devices. So that is definitely something that you'll see from the city. Michelle, have we gotten any questions? Oh, we have. Hello, again. Oh, okay. Okay, so Zarina asks, can you set up an appointment with somebody from OBS? Is that, like you mentioned that you'll do it. What do you do?
So if you call 215-683-2100, someone answers the hotline from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. There are business services managers assigned geographically throughout the city. And so when you call our hotline, we'll ask you what your zip code is or where your business is located or where you're looking to begin or start your business. And then we will match you up with your business services manager who will ultimately set up an appointment to meet with you.
Cool. And do we have another one? Awesome. All right. Tashid asks, what's the name of the organization that can help provide free marketing? I think what he's referencing is Kiva.
Kiva is the financing.
It's for financing, and I think it's like kind of a side effect that you get exposure and marketing through that program, because the way it works is you create an online profile for your business. It's very intentional. You have to talk about like a project that you're trying to fund. You can get up to $10,000. But in doing that, because you added a picture, you talked about your business, you talked about your story, like it's a side effect is kind of that marketing.
Right. And I guess I'm not sure if he has a marketing plan or if you're a new business or existing business, but meeting with one of those technical assistance providers, they can sit down. Score is awesome with maybe giving you some ways to tap in some free marketing.
And SCORE is SCORE.
Correct.
And is it score.org or how do you find that?
It used to be Senior Corps Retired Executives, but they changed that to just SCORE, SCORE. That is correct. And they're through the Small Business Administration, and their website is scorephiladelphia.org.
Okay, and they're also hooked into a lot of the programs that are at the library, the free library, which has also a lot of really, really great business development stuff, including stuff to help you learn how to use the databases that are at the library and that are free to you as a library, if you have a library card, which if you live in Philadelphia, you should have one. So they do a lot together, and those are an awesome resource. And those events are listed monthly on the free library website. All right, so I think a big thank you to everyone who joined us this morning out there in Facebook land. And a big thank you to our panelists. Please be sure to follow @PhilaRevenue both at Twitter and on Facebook. And definitely check out PHL Commerce on Twitter and Facebook. And Startup PHL is on Twitter, lots, and Instagram. Are we still doing Instagram?
I don't think so.
All right. I know. It's a lot of platforms. We've got a lot of platforms. Startup PHL, definitely check them out on Twitter because they are tweeting all the time about events, resources, stuff that's happening. And also look for @PhilaRevenue on YouTube. We're adding a ton of great content all the time, especially conversations like this, but also explanations of taxes, how to fill out forms, how to do it online, and also interviews with staff members about various topics. We try to make it kind of fun, as fun as taxes can be. And I want to make sure I thank Josh Dubin here at Pipeline Philly, who helped us set up this space, and a big thank you to both Joseph and Michelle, who are behind the camera, and also Lauren and Taylor from Commerce, who are helping us from the Peanut Gallery. And we'll see you all next time, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.